Hey guys, my name is Ben Howard and today we're out here at Century Park to check out the first disc I've gotten from my new sponsor, Goliath Discs. If you've never heard of Goliath, they're a faith-based company based out of Northwest Iowa. The disc I'm going to be playing with today is actually the first disc they got approved in April of 2020. At this point, Goliath has 8 discs in total, with having one putting putter, approach disc, 2 mid-ranges, 2 fairway drivers, and 2 distance drivers. I'm going to have their website down in the description, so please go check them out. I've also got a discount code, which is Ben Howard 10. If you use that, it'll get you 10% off your order. Also, it'll give me a kickback anytime somebody uses it, so please go check them out. But the one we're looking at today, the Genesis, it's a very interesting throwing putter. Let's see if I can show you the profile. It's very flat on top, but once you start getting closer to the rim, you can see where like the wing just starts to swoop down, and it comes to a very fine point. It's very weird. A lot of times with putters, this edge is a little bit more blunt, but this one's almost shaped more like a mid-range, if you can kind of tell. It's also got a weird bottom too, because it's kind of swooped down, and it feels like a mid-range bottom. So I'm really curious to see how these fly. I feel like they're going to be pretty fast and be pretty glidey. And that's what I've heard from a lot of people looking at reviews and stuff like that. So I've also got it in both the plastics they make it in, with this one being the OT, which is your basic putter blend plastic, and this being the Oasis plastic, which is kind of like a champion plastic. The best thing I can compare this to would be a stiffer version of Lucid plastic from Dynamic Discs. So for today's video, I'm just going to be playing the front 9 out here at Century, just because I feel like it's got the most variety in a 9-hole loop that I can play that's mainly for throwing putters. But I think for the rest of the series, I'm going to try and go to more 9-hole courses and just play those. But if you know of any other sections that you would like to see me throw these discs on, let me know in the comments, because I was thinking maybe doing like the back 9 of like Tiger or something like that. So if you got any ideas, please let me know in the comments. But yep, let's go ahead and get the video. All right, guys, so we're on hole 1. This is a par 3, 260 feet. Basket's through this gap, tucked slightly off to the left. So if I just throw something dead straight, it'll give me like a 30 to 40 foot look. So all I'm really trying to do is just pump this through the gap, flat, hard, just see how it flies. I'm going to do 2 off the first tee since I'm not warmed up at all. And I want to see how these discs actually fly. I start throwing them. Ooh, that slipped out of my hand a little bit. Ooh, wow. That was actually kind of cool. I don't know if you can really see that on the camera, but it was like fading and pushing forward at the same time. Let's see if I can get a better release on this one. That's much better. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty. First putt with it, too. Ooh, wow. Actually gave me a lot of pop out of my hand. There we go. That's weird. The way it sits in my hand actually makes me want to putt it like super nose up. So it actually feels like it gets more carry for me as a putting putter too. It feels weird though. It doesn't feel great as a putting putter. Something I'll have to get used to though. All right, guys, we're on hole 2. This is a par 3, 260 feet. Basket's just straight ahead. The best route on this hole is really throw something on Anheuser out to the left, get it to bend back to the right, and kind of flatten out and push forward near the end. Should be able to do that pretty well with these discs. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, there's definitely a big difference between the OT and the Oasis plastic. The Oasis one's definitely more stable. All right, let's try this again. Oh man, dang! I thought I made that. That one wasn't even really the putter messing with me that time. That one was just the straddle stance got me. All right, guys, we're on hole 3. This is a par 4, 410 feet. Going through this gap, up the hill with the basket being slightly tucked off to the left. Really just trying to throw something straight and just get it past this tree. If I get anything past there, I can get up and down for a birdie fairly easily. But just got to hit my line. See if I can get this to hold straight going downhill. Ah, I pulled it. That time it. Oh, good kick. Okay, so we got down here far enough to where I can actually give myself a putt at this. I'm just gonna have to give it a lot of height and a lot of good amount of anhydrous, not a ton. Oh, too much. Oh, well, that's still like edge of circle two, so that's gonna give me a long putt at it. Okay. Never mind, I'm way closer than I thought, but let's see how this does in the jump putt. Oh my gosh, that thing zooms out of my hand. I feel like once I get used to the hand feel of that, that might actually turn into a really nice putting putter. There we go. All right, guys, we're on hole 4. This is a par 3, 210 feet. Basket's just straight ahead. Only thing to really pay attention to is you don't want to go long on this hole, but this would be a good chance to kind of down tempo on this thing and see how it handles a lower speed. Oh my gosh. Well, I threw that on hyzer super slow and it still just went dead straight, so that's pretty good. Flat out. Oh man, I think that was gonna be a little low anyway. Oh well. All right, guys, we're on hole 5. This is a par 3, 205 feet. Basket's just straight ahead. Typically, you would go with something overstable, like on a forehand line through the left gap, but I'm just going to try and take the Oasis one and just pump it up the right side. Just trying to get the finish left, right into the basket. Just like that. Get around that tree. Ah, dang. That's the one I need to miss. There it is. Oh my gosh. I really don't feel like I'm putting it that much harder. It just has that much more glide, apparently. I'm also pulling the crap out of it sometimes. Ugh. Get there. Yes. Whew. Yeah, see, that putt, I would have missed that one low. And then with my regular putting putters, that one actually just stayed high and snuck right over the rim. All right, guys, we're on hole 6. This is a par 3, 303 feet. Basket's just straight ahead. Really, all I'm going to be trying to do is just hit this initial gap right here. And then if I get through these 3 trees right here, that pretty much guarantees me getting down to the basket for a putt. But let's see what we can do. Ah. Oh, got 3 clean. That time it didn't really even fade out of it at all. I thought that one was gonna give me a little bit of fade. So I got far enough down here to where I can kind of just do a little jump putt up. So let's go ahead and get out of here with the par. There we go. All right, guys, we're on hole 7. This is a par 3, 230 feet. Basket's just straight ahead. There's a few plays you can do in this one. I could go backhand, turn over through this left gap. I can go straight at it, try to hyzer something around to the right side. I think I'm gonna do that. Just throw a hyzer through the right side, you get to push straight the majority of the flight, and then just kind of slowly pan left. Biggest thing to pay attention to is there's OB behind the basket, so I really just got to make sure that I throw this fairly smooth and just don't rip it too hard. These things do have a ton of glide, and they will get down there if I'm not careful. Just like that. Get through the tree. Woo! Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. Finally made a putt. All right, guys, we're on hole 8. It's a par 3, 207 feet. Basket's just dead straight ahead. Going pretty far uphill, so I'd say place close to like 230, 240. But really just trying to throw something flat over this tree. Just get it to push straight and kind of fade out near the end. Do it. Ooh, almost. All right, guys, we're on hole 9. Par 3, 240 feet. Just straight ahead. Really nothing to worry about in this one. I think I'm just going to go with the baseline one, just straight at it. Just got to make sure to give a little bit of height. It's pretty easy to go long on this hole, but shouldn't be too bad. Pulled it. Ooh, we're safe. All right, one more. I'm really liking this Oasis one a little bit more. Oh my gosh, that thing is so good. Man, that one's so good. Maybe not even 100 feet left. Just do a little Anheuser spin right at it. See if I can give it a little bit of a bit. Not enough. All right, guys, that finished up our round out here. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with how these did today. I wasn't expecting them to be this straight. I was more expecting them to kind of be like my Lunas or something like that, where like they're gonna go far, but they've got a little bit of beef to them near the end. Whereas these are just really just straight. This one especially was just kind of whatever angle I put it on, it's gonna stay on that angle the entire flight, and just really like even like you can see on the last hole, I put it on some hyzer and it just kind of went straight and then barely faded out at the end. So this is definitely 100% going in my bag. I'd like to see how these beat in, if they beat in to where they're kind of flippy, or if they beat in to where like they kind of do like a little zigzag or something like that. But highly, highly recommend these if you're interested in a good throwing putter. And then the OT, I wasn't as impressed with. This one kind of felt a little bit more touchy, where like I was throwing it hard and it was just kind of carrying right, or I was throwing it soft and it was kind of fading a little bit. So it's nice to know that if I wanted like the flight of a beat-in Oasis plastic Genesis, I can just pick one of these up and it'll kind of just be that out of the box. But I feel like I'm gonna keep this one just more as a putting putter for now. Uh, I'm still debating on whether or not I want to switch to these or not. I really like how they feel. They're deeper than my Lunas, but they're not crazy deep. Like I don't really have any grip issues with them. And as you can tell, they fly out of my hand. Super glidey as a putting putter, which is always really nice to see. So for the rest of this series, I'm going to be putting with this, but we'll see near the end if I actually stick with them as my putting putter or not. But so the next video I'm going to do is going to be on their approach disc, which I believe is called the Pillar. I'll put it up on the screen here, but let me know if y'all know of any courses in the area that you think would be a good one for me to try out, more of like a zone type disc, and if you think I should try out some other, like throw some other discs alongside it to kind of give some reference to it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, big shout out to Goliath for sponsoring me. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Y'all please go check them out in the description. If you use code BenHoward10, get you 10% off your order, and it's also going to support me through that. So please go check them out. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all have a good one.